Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Father God, we thank you, Father God, for this day. We ask you, Father God, to bless this meeting that we're about to have, Father God, and just help us to come to an understanding as to what it is we are here to do and what it is, what your will is, first of all. Father God, we want you to reveal to us your will, and we're here to ask you to be in the midst of us and give us guidance in this entire meeting. And we just want to pray for everyone that's here and ask you to bless them, Father God, bless them and keep their families, Father God, and continue to bless us throughout this day. In Yahushua Mashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah.
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 Yeah, you had a list.
I didn't get it together, but we I spoke with. I'm just going to fill Watchman on what we spoke about earlier today, Sister Deja. We spoke about fasting. That's something we want the group to implement together. And we spoke about the upcoming event, in which that's going to be at the end of March. And the other two items, I'll let you present, Sister Deja. You had talked about, I forget what it's called, the micro group lending thing. I don't remember what it was called, but
Savings Club, and Brother Ramo is will be a lot more familiar with that, because that's something that, from my understanding, is at least Jamaican in practice. I'm sure other people in the Caribbean do it, and things like that. But Brother Ramo, we were talking about the partner stuff. So if you could, man, like kind of help us, fill us in on that, at that time, I guess.
And then the other thing we talked about was generating income through group efforts. So I guess. And hello to the Ladd family joining us for the first time.
Shalom.
Shalom, everybody. Shalom.
Are your parents going to be joining?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. All righty. Well, we will proceed. I like the beards, fellas.
Okay. Sister, now you had something you want to talk to us about the group thing, or what was it that my wife was talking about?
Brother Ramo was going to speak on
Oh,
that.
Brother Ramo was going to speak on it. Okay.
Shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Here, man, all the way from in the ice box here in Toronto. It's really outside, minus what, 15, I think. So, yeah, just to I don't know, I was gonna speak on this tonight, actually, but Matty here was asking about the savings program we do and still practice today in our little town in Jamaica. And it is a system where people of like minds really, one person is almost like the banker, so we don't necessarily use the banking system. We contribute on a probably a weekly basis a certain amount of what everybody basically agreed on, what they can contribute to this pool of funds, where they would actually, let's say like a $50 per week, so to speak, or $20 per week, depending on what someone can afford. It's all agreed upon before the initial start of the contract. It's a contract, basically. It's nothing written. It's just more like a verbal contract how we normally do it. And still practice today. And actually, my mom still does it. She's still doing it today. I was there, and a gentleman stopped me and gave me some money to give her for the partner. I'm like, oh, yeah. So that's what it is. And it's like, let's say we're a family here with 10, 15 of us here, and each one of us would put like $50 per week. And can you guys hear me? Thumbs up. Just want to know you guys are understanding. Cool. So we'd put in like, let's say $20 a week, and we would all agree to let it run for, let's say, 3 months or even 6 months, right? So over that 6 months period, every week, everyone would put $20 into the program. And every week somebody will get that lump sum until the entirety of the program has ended, where everybody put back what they got out of it. So if over 6 months program, it's, let's say, works out to be $2,000 US dollars, so to speak, then every week someone will get $2,000, and until everybody has got $2,000 and also contributed $2,000. So it's a loan to each person to maybe do a venture if they want to pay their school fee, buy their kids some uniform, or whatever they want to do with that money. But it normally is among disciplined people, where it has a lot of trust in it. Of course, we trust in Yah. So when we do things, it must be ordained by Him. So it is where like-minded people would contribute, and everyone will get a jar every week. Now, needless to say, nobody wants the last jar. Everybody wants to get their pot earlier, but most of the time, it's the person who's holding the funds normally take the last hand or the last pot. When everybody else has received theirs, and most time people can contribute if, let's say, the minimum standard is about $20 a week. If some people can contribute $40 or even $60, they would be able to do so. So they would have 3 set of pots to withdraw from that fund. Sometimes it's consecutive, but in respect of others, they wouldn't take it consecutive. They would take like probably the second or the 5th or the 8th turn. They will get that lump sum of all the pool that is contributed over, that would be accumulated over 6 months period or 3 months, depending on the agreed duration of the program. We don't do it formal in terms of a letter or any contract. It's a verbal contract of trust among brothers and sisters who does it, and everybody understands that they need to put their amount at the end of the week, so each person can get their share to do what they need to do, basically. So it's a program that has been around for decades, probably hundreds of years. My parents and parents before them did it, and they're still running it today.
Okay. Can you all hear us?
Yeah.
Can I have someone say anything?
Huh.
We're missing you. Are you saying something?
Is the light on? He's still talking.
We can hear you and see you.
Okay.
Good for my end too.
Good for my end.
Good over here. It's good on our end.
It's not working. We can hear it if we just
Okay.
without the speaker.
Okay, I was having a hard time. Okay.
Can you all hear us? We can. I guess we have to use the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's not working. So okay. All right, they can hear us. So
Okay, the volume is very low, so I could hardly hear.
Okay. We were listening to what Brother Ramos said, and Sister Deja had explained it quite a bit earlier too. And one thing that we had already spoken about in one of our previous meetings was the importance of generating income as a group or as a whole. And because one thing that's going to happen, anyone who goes to a new area, if you have to find a job or whatever, it's going to require a lot of your income to take care of your immediate household. And so it may be difficult for a person initially, if they're making a move, to commit to contribution every week or every month. And I guess it would depend on what type of employment you were able to get a hold of.
Well, one thing me and my wife, we like to talk about is investing. investing in business and ideas, because what that does is it generates money so that you're not taking money from your bills or whatever. You get a little extra money and say, okay, let's try to save up enough so that we could collectively maybe invest, or so that you could probably invest in different things, because there are different things that we've tried over the years that have been that have proven to be very profitable. Things that we've tried, and so we really want to talk to you guys a little bit about that too, about taking your money and maybe investing it in some type of like we were talking about the liquidation thing. It would be nice for you all to at least give that a try, and you don't have to be here to do that. You can actually set up your own account and just try to do it yourself. I had people that have gotten into it before, me and my wife had gotten relatives and friends and other people into it, and that have done exceptionally well in it.
And we think it's a good idea to give it a try anyway, just so you can see what's involved in it.
Yeah.
With any venture, it's going to take work.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time and things of that nature. I do like the loan thing. Once things are established, I could see something like that being of good benefit. Like I spoke to Sister Deja earlier. I said, for instance, if her husband needed like some more music equipment or something, and it's going to cost him X amount of dollars, the group come together and put into the pot or whatever. I don't know what it's called formally, and make it happen for that piece of equipment that he needs, and vice versa. But establishing, I guess our thoughts on establishing the fund simply to just give someone a lump sum every month. What if there are 2 or 3 people within the group that need something in a particular month? And what if, depending on the size of the group, what if the group, just say you had a group that was raising $10,000 a month, okay? You don't want to just start putting money out there unless it's an idea that you're putting it into. For instance, if someone, if we all came together and decided we did want to open up maybe a physical location for a business, I think it would be better to do something that's going to benefit the whole group each month.
Something that you're profiting from, right?
Right.
Exactly, because the thing with the loan is if you're coming together. Now we understand it. Like for instance, if a brother have a certain need, and we in the group we find out that a particular brother car had broke down,
Yes.
and let's say it's going to cost him $500 to get his car fixed, and he's like, I just don't have it. And the group say, hey, let's come together, let's take care of this brother's car note. I perfectly can take care of his repairs or whatever. I perfectly understand and I get that, but the thing I want to keep in mind is that, but when you look into just putting aside money together in a group to maybe lend it to a particular individual, so we're talking about lending, okay, and then he has to pay it back, or maybe 1 month he put into the group and it goes to somebody else. My thing is, okay, let's say the lump sum comes up to $1,000, right? And this person is going to get it this particular month. Well, me and my wife, we understand the principle of investing. If you look at the story of where Yahusha dealt with those talents, one 3 talents, one 5 talents, another one talent. Well, notice they took the money and they didn't just take it and use it for this and use it for that. They took it and they invested the money so that they were able to, when he came back, he said, hey, I have double. The one that had 5 said, I had double. I put it to the exchanges, meant I invested that money so that now that you're coming back, I have double because I worked that money. You see? So that's more appealing to me than anything, because of the fact that we know there are going to be expenses, especially in the future. There are going to be expenses. And when you think about this, okay, think about if you are planning on getting some land that land's going to cost money. Okay. And if you get land and you want to build a bug out on that land, that bug out is going to cost money. Or if you want to build a shelter or whatever it is you want to build on that land, it's going to cost money. What if you need equipment? What if you need heating, cooling, or whatever it is you may need for that land? Everything is going to cost money. Okay, now let's say you want to plant crops. Well, that's going to cost money. You know, if you want to raise chickens or anything, it's going to cost money to get them. So everything costs money. So then going into this thing, we got to think on a level of, oh, we got to have funds coming in. We got to have income coming in order to do this, because to move to an area, especially to come into this area here and not have any type of source of income, then you setting yourself up for a hard time and for a fall. Okay. And so that's what we're not trying to do. We're not trying to have people come here to this area and not be prepared. And that's what we tell everyone: in everything you do, acknowledge Yah. Completely acknowledge him. Know what it is that you're getting into. You know, just know what it is, what you're getting into, because you could go to a land, you could easily say, oh, you know what? I'm going to pack up everything. I'm going to go to this land, everything. And once you get there, after the first 2-3 weeks, it's going to be like, okay, now where am I getting money from? So unless you have some type of income coming in or a nest egg put aside, and it better be a huge nest egg too, because it's going to have to get you through some months and allow you to set up shop wherever it is you're going to be in a new location. And so I just want you to keep all those things in mind and into consideration when you're trying to save money, when whatever it is you're going to be doing, period, you know, with your money, that, you know, you're saving it. Think about the future and just have your priorities set as to what's important. You know, one thing we did when we started looking at things a few years ago, we said, oh man, we got to start storing up some stuff, because it's getting crazy. It's getting crazier and crazier. It ain't fun when you have a snowstorm and then you run to the grocery store to get something and it's all gone. I've had that happen before.
Yes.
It's just not fun. And so that's a lot to think about, you know.
Mm-hmm. So does everyone understand where we're coming from with that? We certainly don't want anyone to feel any type of financial crunch. A program such as that sounds great, Brother Ramo, in an area that's already established, like what you're talking about. Everyone is already in that area.
Yeah, exactly.
But trying to implement something like that, if everyone is relocating, trying to get established in a new job or whatever, they may not be able to financially afford to contribute to anything outside of their own home initially that is not going to, per se, generate additional income for them. So this is why we talked about some things before with the livestock. When I talked to Sister Deja earlier, one thing that we noticed lately that is a great income producer, and it's not necessarily for us, but we're going to check into it. Facebook Marketplace, there have been a few things that we've needed.
Yeah.
And so someone had told us about Facebook Marketplace, and we started looking on there. We're like, wow, here's a guitar. The kids wanted the guitar. Used guitar, 20 minutes away. And then I noticed that some of the same people are selling things over and over. So
and they're selling that stuff fast too. I mean, you may see something you may like, say, wow, for $20, I want it. You call, you email them or whatever, they're like, it's gone that quick.
Yeah, so we needed some used shelving, and there was a
hardware store.
A hardware store or something, the AutoZone. I think it was AutoZone. And they were getting rid of all this shelving for just $60. And so even with, you know, stuff being able to market to local areas, I notice in this area is pretty hot. I mean, stuff, as soon as stuff goes in, you go to check on it, says sold, just that quick. Mm-hmm. And so I think for us, before anyone thinks about trying to make a move to another area, get a feel for all these different ways of making income from where you are. And certain things such as that and liquidation you can do from any area. It doesn't matter where you are. So if you get your feet wet with it where you are, you can say to yourself, okay, I can do this. And so you'll feel comfortable if you go. Sister DeWard, can you go over to the liquidation? Yes. Once you get to that area, you'll say, I can do this. Liquidation.com is a place where all of the stores, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Kohl's, all of these places have end-of-life merchandise, returns, shelf pulls, refurbished. All of their stuff goes to a place like liquidation.com, and they sell it to businesses, individuals, and you resell it. I'll give you a good example. A couple of months back, we won an auction. It was late at night. Nobody else was bidding on it. We bought it for $180, and it turned out to be $205 with shipping. And that was like $150, and then $205 with shipping.
That's right.
Now, by the time we started selling the stuff, there was one item inside the box that sold for $399. Just one item.
Yeah, one item. One item paid for the entire auction.
Yes, one item paid for the whole thing, and it was something we didn't even know what it was. It was a computer processor.
You know, it's funny that this processor was only about this big. And so when I saw this little thing,
they just got kicked out. They'll be right back.
Okay. Give me hold on a second.
Okay, we're gonna wait for Brother Matiyahu and Sister Deja. Okay, they're back.
And so this one computer processor only this big, as in a box. It's in a nice size box. But when I looked in the box, I said, "What's in here?"
We thought it was garbage.
I thought it was garbage. It was this little bitty processor. So I'm looking at this thing. I'm just keeping it on my desk, just flopping it around and stuff. And I decided to grab it and type in what it was on eBay. When I typed on eBay, I saw them selling for $500, $600, $700. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, this little thing, you know?" So I double checked it, and I was like, when I put it on eBay, I mean, I think I had to buy it now for $400, and I'm telling you, it sold within 30 minutes, like bam.
We was like, this little piece of thing.
And so that's the kind of thing that you can get in an auction. You can get some things that'll just be, you'll sit there and say, wow. And another auction we had gotten where there was a, what was that mixer thing, that mixer?
Oh, yeah. It was some type of kitchen processor.
Yeah.
And it was, whoever returned it with an extra something in it.
Extra
that was
parts.
worth, the part that they returned in the box was worth a couple of $100 by itself. And so we were able to sell the processor and whatever the attachment was as a big lump package.
And it paid for more than half the auction.
Yeah.
Just the one item. And so sometimes but you gotta know what you're doing, of course. You gotta know what you're doing. Market research is very important. Okay. So if you're going to purchase anything from anywhere, you got to make sure that you have a market for it. Okay. That you have a place where you can sell that thing and people want the thing. You don't want to buy nothing. Then you get it. Next thing you know, you stuck with it because nobody else wants it. Okay.
What we're willing to do is train everybody on this particular thing so that you can get your feet wet and understand just how simple it is. This is something you can do at home. You don't even have to go outside of your house. You can buy it on liquidation, sell it on eBay, sell it on Facebook, sell it on Craigslist, sell it in a yard sale. Yeah. But this is something you can do at home, and you don't have to start off big with no pallets. We talked about pallets before, but this was a box auction that we won. It was late at night.
Yeah, the box was no bigger than I would say about like this here, if you can see my hands, about like this, just a, you know what I mean, a nice size box. And I was shocked. There's a lot of little small electronic things, you know. Yeah,
and it was a leather little duffel bag thing. It's just little stuff like that. But here's the deal. Liquidation gives you what they call a manifest, which is a list of all the items that are going to be in your box, your pallet, your truckload, whatever it is you're buying. And so before you even buy it, you could get the item and you can test and see, what are these selling for? You see, you go through the manifest, you plug it in on eBay. That's usually how we determine how much stuff is selling for. And we'll say, okay, this item right here is selling for $500. Man, I might try to go for it. But it's usually like 20, 30, 50, 100 items in a lot. So like we said, one item in your lot might actually pay for the whole thing. So this is something very simple for everyone to get involved in at home before you even leave anything. See if there's something you're willing to do, because quite honestly, it can be time consuming if you get a pallet and there's a whole bunch of items on there. You might already have a job somewhere else and you're like, you got to squeeze it in your time.
Yeah.
And so start off small. We
Yeah.
would say start off small. We're not suggesting that anyone try the livestock thing yet, because if you're living in the city, that's not a good business for you to get into. The livestock thing is something that we were suggesting that the group does, but we also believe that the group should do a number of things.
Yeah.
Once you come together as a group, do a number of things. I'm telling y'all right now, the scripture says that the Gentiles are going to provoke us to jealousy, and it has happened.
Yes.
Sometimes when we see how these people are set up and how they're doing things, we're like, man, you know, because one lady that we get our quail from, the way she and her husband have things set up, and her husband just passed away, so she doesn't know. We just bought a whole bunch of the last of the quail. She's like, she don't want to do it anymore because he just passed on Thanksgiving. And so she gave us a whole bunch of the quail, and she has some other things that hopefully we'll be able to buy. Some guineas. Guineas are good if anyone who's going to have land, you want to get guineas to keep the ticks. Any bugs, they will eat those for you. So we want to get some of those. But that's down the line. Once you have land, you get livestock and you get things such as guineas. But before you all even move from where you are, that's even if it's the Most High's will, we want to show you how to do liquidation first. That will help to determine if you're going to even move at all. And I don't want you all to think that we're discouraging you from doing that. We're just trying to be realistic.
Right.
We're trying to be prayerful. We don't want anyone to experience culture shock. If you're coming from the city and you're coming to a rural area, you can experience culture shock. We did.
Yeah.
When we moved from Michigan, Southeast Michigan, to this small town, we were like, okay.
Yeah. After 6 months, we were shaking our head like, okay, what ain't nothing here.
Yes.
I mean, we were looking around like, oh man.
And then we started looking for listings in Michigan again. You
know.
And our oldest daughter, she's back with us now, but she's been gone for 8 years. She couldn't take it. So she moved back to Michigan with my sister and my mother. Then my mother ended up back down here with us. My daughter stayed up there, and now they're back here. But life kind of sent them back here. But it was just really harsh. The culture shock was really bad for her because she's very outgoing. She had a book club in Michigan. These kids down here, they didn't care nothing about no book club. And it was like she's trying to get people, and nobody wanted to do anything in a small town, and she just couldn't take it. She was bugging out, so she left. And so we experienced some of that too. And we don't want, for us as parents, we had to deal with it. We're
used to it now, though. Now that we've been here more than 10 years, we used to the area, we used to all of this. But I'm telling you, most people, they come down here, and I'm telling you, you'll want to get down here and you'll be like, and then one thing I want to say this too, the reason why I stress trying to come up with income and more income and business ventures and things like that more than anything, because nothing can crush a dream more than the lack of income.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I've seen it so many times. People have visions of doing this. I want to start this here. I want to get land. I want to do this, get that. And I'm telling you, it takes money and a lot of time for that. And if you're working 24/7, how are you going to have time to do work on the land if you buy land?
Right.
So you got to think about all of those things. You know what I'm saying? So.
But again, liquidation, I mean, that's the only thing that we can think to pass along to everyone, because we've passed it along to a number of people. Before we even moved here, we got a lot of people set up in liquidation in Michigan. I remember even the lads at one time when the young fellows were much younger, they were much younger. We had even gotten their parents into it at one time, but we all kind of went in on a truckload, and that was a long time ago. But business in a city is different than business in a rural area or the country, but it can be done. And so, I mean, realistically, that's the direction we're thinking, that you all should give that a try first, because that's very simple to try. It doesn't matter. We even got my mom into it. Before she came here with us, she was doing it on her own. You know, and so we think that anyone who is interested in trying to get themselves more income, you can try it on a part-time basis, and in many cases make more money than you're making on your job.
Let me tell you what's funny. Okay, I don't know if we told you the story, but I remember when we got my wife's sister involved in liquidation a few years ago, right? And she had put a lot on liquidation. A lot of clothes. We would go to.
They call them lots.
Yeah, they call a lot of clothes. Yeah, and so this particular lot, she had put on. What we would do is we would go to stores that have closeout sales, and sometimes you go in there to get 80% off, 70% off. They just closing out, getting rid of stuff extremely cheap. It could be kids' clothes, teens' clothes, or adult clothes. It doesn't matter. But when if you get super deals like that, and you get a lot of them, where you get like 100 pieces, 1,000 pieces, 500 pieces, or just a good number like that, and you put it on there, where she had about, I would probably say 100 piece, 200 piece lot or something like that, and she put it on liquidation. And I'm telling you, I wish we could have recorded the screams when her auction got to high.
Well, first she didn't believe that it could be like that, but for some reason in America, they love kids' clothes, name brand. We don't care about that kind of stuff. We go to Walmart, but unfortunately, Americans do care about that. And so she found there's a place in Michigan, I forget what it's called, but she got a bunch of closeout clothes, and she put her auction on there, and it went from like 100 to 200 to 500, 1,000, and each time it was going up, she started screaming. Her auction sold for $2,500. And we were like, she was screaming so, because she's like, she put less than 1,000 into those clothes, you know? She was screaming to the top of her lungs on the phone. She was like, Tamika. And I was like, yes, I told you. And so basically liquidation, I mean, we've seen people get on there and sell things, and you're saying to yourself, man, we used to buy from liquidation, but then we said, if we're seeing other people's stuff selling like this, maybe we should put something on here too. So whenever a store around here go out of business, there was a store going out of business, and they had stuff 90% off. Yes. We were getting $100 pair of jeans, name brand stuff, for $1.10. We was like, you can't beat that with a bat. Yeah. And so we said, okay, we'll take it all. We take this whole rack right here. And they were like, sure, because they only had 2 more days to be open. Mm-hmm. So they wanted it gone. And you have those kind of deals like that all around the country, you know. So if ever you see a closeout somewhere, it doesn't matter where. On liquidation, they sell to people all over the country. They sell, there are even buyers in Canada. It doesn't matter. So this is one of those businesses, no matter where you are in this country, you can be in a basement, somebody's basement, have yourself a business, and sell merchandise that stores that we shop at every day, Big Lots, Kmart's, Walmart, Kohl's, all of these different places have closeout merchandise on liquidation.com.
You know what's funny about these auctions? What you got to understand is, okay, let's take an area like this, right? The certain stores is not in this area, okay? So I have to drive more than 100 miles to get some of the things so that you could just go right around the corner and get. So then it's valuable to me if I see that particular item on the internet for sale. Now, a good example is around Christmas time, I used to go to Big Lots and get these carousels, these Christmas carousels. They had these little horses going around, little Christmas thingy. You know, this was years ago when I was into Christmas, you know.
This is when we were Christians. We didn't know we were Israelites.
Yeah. But let me tell you, those things were selling at about, I would say, $79 at Big Lots.
No, they were $39.
Oh, yeah, that's right. At $39 at Big Lots. I would take these things, put them on eBay, and would sell for $100, $120 on eBay.
Yeah.
And you would say, why would somebody, when they could just go to Big Lots? Well, ain't no Big Lots in the area.
Yeah.
And so that's how it was. And I would get certain that there was these irons that you iron clothes with, called winter irons. I would get those at Big Lots for like $29, $39. I would turn around and sell them on eBay for $79 easy. You know, and so there was things like that you sit there and you say, how is that possible? I had a friend of mine, he went to, there was these Eddie Bauer seat covers for automobiles, and he saw them, that they were worth selling on eBay. So he went and brought them all, every last one of them that they had at Kmart's, which was probably about 20 of them, I think it was. He was turning around, he made a killing on those things, selling them on eBay, because he was getting them for really cheap, and he was turning around quadrupling his money selling those things on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
Oh, sorry. I just thought that, if I don't mind, when you talk about buying and selling, there are stores like Nike and those stores, Timberland and those stores, actually, they have a thing called sample sales. And you'll be surprised. I'm going to one tomorrow. What they do is sell all the samples that they normally get to show to their clients. And you know, a general Timberland would cost like about $200, $150, $200. They sell them at the sample sale for $30 and $40. And you can sell that easy for $150 on eBay or anything else. They generally have these things.
Wow, see?
It's not for the public. They keep it very secluded. So if their storage is in an office building, they let only the people inside know. But of course, we spread the word, so people will know to come buy up these cheap shoes, right? So you get like a Timberland for like $30, $40, a $200 shoes, right? And it's genuine. It's not like a knockoff. It's from Timberland themselves. So they have these things, and if you are out hunting for these type of deals, you will find them. You know,
that's right.
It's called like sample sales, and you can just sell them, flip them online pretty quickly. So that's something just to add to Watchman. That's something we can definitely think more of and think more about, so to bring in quick income over the internet, so we can start our partner program.
And I would like to say something too. I know that around here, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but around here we have a lot of Kmart's that are closing down, so they're selling stuff for like 90% off and 80% off and different.
Wow.
So I was able to find like a lot of closing deals for myself, and never thought to sell them, but you know, now I might look around and see what I can find and see if I can sell it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd be surprised. Like you may find one item that may be selling extremely good on eBay, and if Kmart's have like 8, 9, 10 of those items, I would get them all. Get them all, come back, list those things on eBay, and I'll tell you, you'll be selling them like this, and you'll be sitting there saying, "Wow, it's amazing." Mm-hmm. You know, when you get those. Matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's a Kmart's not far from here.
Yes,
we may be paying them to visit.
I know they're shutting them down. It's like my childhood is gone, but that's another story.
I know. Everything is shutting down.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's
you know,
go ahead.
Sorry. I just wanted to share with the team again. There's a movie I watched called The Vernon John Story. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, where, you know, our people like to work for people. We like to work for people. We tend not to want to be innovators. And simple thing like what you just mentioned, like stores where you buy liquidation, where you buy stuff at store like Kmart and Sears, and you see they're selling these things. So you'll be surprised. We like to say, I have a job tomorrow to go to. But you can create your own job, these simple habits. You buy 3 pair of shoes, a pair of pants, some vase, some, you know, flower pots.
Right.
And you just decorate and just advertise. People buy these things. You'll be surprised how many people, even the Gentiles, the Caucasian nation, run business from their basement and their garage. They just sell these things, and, you know, tax-free, basically, without paying any taxes. But it is interesting that we need to be innovative, and we need to you know, get up and discuss about wanting to make our own businesses and stop sitting back, basically. So we have to sharpen our tools and help each other, right? Iron sharpen iron, basically. So Yeah, let's get on one accord.
Okay. Yeah, you know, it's amazing. There, I've seen it over the years. You know, just when I worked around Gentiles, and I saw even those that work jobs were taking their money and investing their money and doing things with their money that, I mean, a good example is a friend of mine, he's working a stock job at the time. And this other guy, this Gentile to work with him, was working a stock job too. And he had only worked there probably about 6-7 years more than him. He said, but when he went out to his home and saw this ranch home that he had off the water,
Yeah.
with a nice truck, and he's like, how can he said, we make almost the same amount. How is it? And so when he talked to the guy, this is what the guy told him. He said, well, I'm going to tell you how we're able to do this. He said, we always invest our money. We invest our money in 401ks. We invest our money in other business ventures and other things. We're always investing our money. And so when it looks like all we're making is when I'm working a job that only pays about $25,000 a year, but my investments are bringing me in that amount too. So now I'm making really about 50. And then when the guy told him that, he was sitting there shaking his head like, wow, you know. As a matter of fact, that same guy, this is kind of crazy, but he continued to invest his money in this particular company, and stock shot up really high, and he kept investing a lot of money in this particular company that he worked for. Well, he ended up quitting his job with close to $1 million that he made from investing in the company that he worked for.
Yeah.
With the work money.
Yeah.
So when you think about that kind of thing, it's like wow, they're already conditioned to think, hey, invest my money, make money with my money, you know. And we're more so conditioned to, I want to work for him, and I'm just gonna buy to get things that I want to enjoy.
Spend money.
Yeah, just spend money basically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're consumers.
Yeah.
Our people are more like consumers, but we got to get out of that mindset.
Yeah, we got to get out of it. That's right.
We got to start thinking more realistically about things.
Yeah.
And I like what Sister Michelle and Sister Deja and I, as far as the fasting, I don't know. Some of you all may already have established time. Monday is our day. But as far as a group, I think that is something that we should definitely.
Yes.
It's a number of different people we talk to, okay, and everybody is saying, I think we should do, especially in light of two very close people passing away like this, Brother Darby and Brother Sean Tatum. Both of those deaths are very devastating. And so, and I talked to Sister Pamela Michelle. She came to the event too, but she called earlier today. She didn't know Pastor Darby had passed away. So she took it pretty hard. But even she was saying that we got to fast. We got to find out what Yah is doing right now, what is going on.
Yeah.
And I know for us, it's definitely a concern. What is he doing? And we want to be on the right side of his will. We don't want to do anything outside of his will. And not saying that that was the case with these brothers at all. Both of these brothers were on fire for the Most High. And it was very tragic how Brother Sean was shot and killed. He was shot and killed by a Gentile. And we just found out yesterday that she will not be facing any charges, that she's just going to walk away scot-free.
Yeah.
Whatever their reasoning is, like Brother Dimitri said, we knew it was coming. And so with that, we got to keep it moving. We got to keep praying. We got to ask Yah what's going on with all of this. We need some help. And I think fasting, as Sister Michelle pushes a whole lot, that's something that everyone needs to do. Okay? Like I said, Watchman and I, our day is Monday. And if the Most High wants us to go longer than that, we do. But as far as a set day, that's the day that we have.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to join, that's fine. Brother Dimitri is calling for a fast as well because of Brother Tatum. I mean, but this is something that we as a family need to do, so that we could. Yah's ways are past our finding out. That much I know. We can scuffle around for answers, but at the end of the day, we have to keep it moving, and we have to be realistic in how we do things, and we got to stay prayerful.
You just
stay
got
on the right side of His will.
Yeah, you got to stay on the right side of His will. You definitely got to be in His will. You know, you got to know what His will is, and you got to go in the direction of His will, because, you know, that makes you valuable to God. You know, I mean, you walking in His will, you're doing exactly what He wants you to do. Then He says, okay, well, He's doing my will. You know, so I think that's the biggest thing that I try to talk to people about, is knowing and hearing His voice and making sure that you're doing what He wants you to do. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you know how it is. You look out here and you see things, you see what you may need to do, what look like you need to do, and then sometimes you say, well, this got to be what y'all want me to do, right? It not necessarily, you know, just because it look like y'all may want you to do it, it might not be for you to do it. You understand? So, you know, you just got to be careful. I mean, one time I went to give to somebody, and the Most High told me no. Spoke to me, told me no. I was like, don't give to this person. He's like, nope, don't give to this person. Now, I don't know what was in that person's heart and what that person was going to do, but I want you to keep this in mind, right? When you give to people, whatever that person does with that money, if they do wickedness with that money, you could be held accountable for it too.
Yes, he experienced that before.
I experienced it
with a relative.
That's right.
Gave them some money, and they went and bought drugs.
They went and bought drugs, and they came back and tried to kill me. You know, and so I've experienced that. Yes. I know it, and that made me really get my eyes open and say, man, you know, so you got to be very attentive to Yah, know what His will is, know what's going on. You know, there's a lot of wicked things going on out in the world. Some things look right. The scripture says, the way that seemeth right unto man, right? But what's at the end of it? Destruction. So we got to make sure that we're constantly in His will. It looks like, man, maybe we should be, you know, doing this and doing that. Just keep seeking Him for His will more than anything. What was one of the other things we wanted to cover? Was it
the event?
We wanted to talk to you guys about the event. We are going to have it. It's going to be near the end of March. I need to look at some dates, though. I may push it to the beginning of April. Just depends. But I want to try to keep it in March. Okay. So we're going to do some planning and try to get some information out. We've been telling people pretty much, like we've been having people register for the baptism so that we don't have to send out a blast about the event. We're trying to keep from doing that, you know.
Well, we've already got quite a few people pre-registered. So like I was saying to Sister Deja earlier, we got to get moving on contacting a lot of these people back, because they've kind of piled up on us. And so we're going to send it out through, I guess you call it through an email to everyone who's pre-registered versus doing something. The only thing that we only want to do through video is to absolutely, we'll let you know. The only thing we'll do through video is to let others know to pre-register, but that's pretty much it. And we'll keep in touch with everyone through the mass email thing, letting them know the date and what we're going to do. And a lot of people want to camp. Most of the people who pre-registered want to camp, and so I had spoken with Sister Deja earlier. At first, we were thinking about taking that off the table, but we're going to keep it on the table. Yeah. We did enjoy it. We can't allow the enemy to cause us to do things. I mean, we need to learn how to do these things, and so we don't want to take that off the table. We want to do that, and especially with not making things so public we don't have to be concerned about what we were concerned with before. And also, as I stated to Sister Deja, a lot of these people have gone off into their little corner and are just kind of trying to put this behind them, so to speak. And so we just want to move forward in Yah, doing his will. And people wanting to be baptized is very important. Others wanting to learn survival skills, very important. And growing food, we want all of these workshops to be a part of what we do, because some people don't know how to begin with growing food. Some people don't know how to use weapons. We would like to put that on the table maybe next time. I know they did some shooting before, but we would like for more people, perhaps. What do you think?
Yeah, I think certain. I don't know. Yeah, I go back and forth with it. You know, he take, come on to this event, y'all. Bring your guns. You know, that's kind of making me a little nervous.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, with the wrong person showing up with the gun. So you know, it's like,
well,
I don't mind if they come and we have the guns and here, try this, and you know, and we have it more organized, you know, but I don't know.
I agree.
We're going to have to think about that one.
Yes, and archery too. Yes, absolutely. And I agree with my husband. Instead of everybody bringing pistols and guns, we'll just use ours and everybody just take turns. We'll just do it like that. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, archery, definitely. Crossbows.
Yes.
And Brother Matiyahu said Brother Scales is very good in that, in both of those, I believe. And so we would love it if he can come and join us.
Absolutely.
And share some of those skills. Martial arts too, wow. We would definitely love if he can show us some of the skills that he has, and you know.
Yes.
But thank you, Brother Matt and Sister Deja, for offering to assist with the event as far as getting people pre-registered.
Yes.
Well, they're already pre-registered, but making some contacts, and we'll figure out
screening and stuff like that. Yeah.
And we'll tell you some of the things we're looking for. I mean, you can't pre-screen completely. There's only so much you can do. This is a thing of faith, I guess. Some people will slip through the cracks, but Yah will deal with those. Additional help is okay. Thank you so much. We'll possibly forward the pre-registrations to those who want to help, so that you can see how many want to be baptized, how many are just coming for the gathering itself. It's right there on the form. You'll be able to see, so that we can keep a tally of both, and who's going to be camping with us, so we'll know what to expect with all of that too. So we appreciate that.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I got to say, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's I know it's 3 months away, but you'd be surprised how fast these 3 months ago. You know, I had so much on the table right now I'm trying to get done, and I just pray that the Most High. I kind of need 36 hours a day.
Yes. Yes.
I really wish he could just give me 36 hours a day. Would be very nice, you know.
Well, you can see. Watchman, bro, Watchman. What's the weather like at that time of year?
Well, usually it's really good. You know, I mean, in this area, February may be close to 70 degrees. You know what I mean?
Sometimes,
you know, close to 70 degrees in February. I mean, usually come March, you're safe. I mean, you're safe in the 70s, and I mean, seriously. And then at nighttime, it may get down in the 50s. You know,
possibly the 40s.
But for the most time, it's usually really good,
especially towards the end of March. But we can't say for sure. Yah sometimes he'll send you a surprise. We got a March surprise before. It was on March 8th, I think.
Sure was.
I remember the date, March 8th, we got a blizzard.
We got a blizzard. We had more than a foot of snow out there, you know. So it can send us a surprise. But we're hoping that, you know, if things go to where it will work out for us with the tent thing. So I'm kind of keeping my ears open for prayer. in case the Most High lay it on our heart to move the date or whatever he may want to do. You know, maybe he'll just promise us the good weather like he did the last time. You know, that'll be great. You know.
Well, coming from Toronto, that those weather is welcome. Those temperatures are welcome coming from like this. But definitely, just wanted to check on that. So that's good to know.
Okay.
You know, we have to be prepared in all weather conditions anyway. So next time probably we'll try to do it here in Canada, further up north where it's pretty cold, so we can prepare for the ice. In the camera. Just making fun. Let's see how we just laughing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to conclude it today. And maybe we're going to try to get that information out to everyone as to the date for the event, and for the next time we talk, we'll try to have all of that squared away as far as the dates for it.
Anyone want to close this up?
Maybe get a date for a fast as well. But we're trying to keep ours on Monday, you know, the date for fasting. So if anyone want to join us on Monday, that's fine, you know. That seemed to be the best day for us because of what we're doing in our life and everything. Monday just seemed to be perfect for us. So we fast actually every Monday.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
I have one question.
Okay.
Before we go. So, and I think the conversation about helping with the event kind of segues into the list of skills that I think almost everyone handed in. And I brought this up to Coty Michelle earlier. But you know, how is there anything that we could possibly do, or how could we use those documents that we compiled of everyone's skills, maybe even for helping to logistically put this event together, or just in general, but kind of what the next steps may be with the list of skills that everyone turned in?
I think for the list of skills, we could see how anything that we could offer as a workshop during the event, I think that would be a great idea.
Yes.
There are certain projects that I think we should attempt to do at the event. Like there are small rocket stoves. I mean, they're so small that people could literally travel with the things to make them. We want to give instructions on how to make certain things. We want to show how to do the self-feeding fire, just certain demonstrations.
Yes.
Certain things whatever type of skills you have, if it's something that you could give a short presentation to others, because believe it or not, a lot of people don't know how to do even very simple things, and they would be grateful to learn some of the skills that you may have. Now, I think if it's Yah's will that a group is formed, okay, great. Okay, how short? 30 to 60 minutes you're talking about for a presentation?
Yeah, I'm thinking 30 minutes or less, actually.
And Sister Yadina says she's written down Brother Marcus's presentation. That's a great idea. And what I was going to say with everyone's skills, if there's some kind of way to incorporate that into a pamphlet with his information, that would be great. So then you have it right there. Who knows how to do what? Keeping it all in one place. That's something that will simplify things. One thing we talked about too earlier, Sister Deja and I, which we didn't get a chance to cover. We talked so much about the business stuff, but this goes hand in hand with the business stuff. Being able to generate money will determine purchasing land. We talked about a land contract type of situation will probably be best for everyone, because that's where you're dealing with an owner who doesn't mind doing owner financing, because a lot of banks do not want to give mortgages on raw land. unless you're going to be building a structure on it. And trying to build a community, banks are not going to be up for that at all.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do something private, trying to get several structures built on a parcel of land, it's not going to be possible. So I think I mentioned earlier that when we were just looking, through different listings here and there, there was one where they had like 16 to 18 acres, and it was 55,000. Something like that, you might have a monthly payment between $300 and $500. And if you have 10 people together making that payment, that's not going to be an ouch.
That's peanuts, yeah.
To anyone's pocket. And everyone will collectively own the land. Now, there are websites, landwatch.com, Land of America, realtor.com. There are a number of different, and then you want to look for sale by owner locations as well, in which you can narrow down your searches based on the number of acres. If it has structures on the property, based on the number of bedrooms. If you want to have, if you're looking for 10 to 20 acres, you can lessen your search or broaden your search based on what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And you can look by county or zip code or city. Mm-hmm. And so those are things that everyone would be doing together. Everyone would be looking together on something like that, looking out for deals on land in whatever area. And but the first thing is the income, getting the income. If you could all get trained enough in doing something from where you are now, that will give you not only money to relocate, but it'll give you a comfort level knowing that you have something that you can take with you wherever you are. And so that's the thing we stress the most. Without income, some things sound great when you're talking about them, but it's a whole other thing once you're into it. You've moved and you don't have money to do things, you know. So we just want everyone to be very, very honest with themselves about it, be prayerful, and just do what you have to do. Do what you have to do.
I have a question.
Okay.
As far going back to the fasting, specifics, if we're going to be fasting as a group, we want to all try to be on the same page of what we're fasting for specifically. So do you guys have any suggestions, or is it just every man for himself, or what exactly are we fasting for?
Well, with our particular fast, we have specific things related to our family that we are fasting for, but we look at all of us as family, but there are things within our family that we are going before the Most High on. But for us, we believe that our people as a whole, there are some major spiritual blockages going on. And this is why when I was talking to Sister Pamela Michelle earlier today, it was kind of interesting that Pastor Darby's conference was about spiritual warfare. And that's pretty much what we've been fasting for.
Yes. And
so that's why it hit us kind of hard as to what is Yah doing, what happened with this brother's death like this. I think that's, pardon me?
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Oh, in addition to that, because I've already been fasting about the everything that we've been meeting about, because I do want to make sure that I'm in Yah's perfect will. So some of the things that I put on my list for fasting for specifically is direction for now and going into 2018. Also for being in Yah's perfect will, which is kind of along the same as direction, but also for wisdom. You know, wisdom, like everything you guys have been talking and teaching us tonight about going into different job ventures, that requires wisdom to do that. Also, some of the other things I've been fasting for is to develop a deeper relationship with Yah, because that's going to be important with everything that's going on. And then also, where does he want us to does he want us to join a group of people? Does he want us to venture out and purchase land on our own? Does he, I just have a lot of questions because like you said, this is something major. So I recently last week just got through fasting with a group of people, and these were the things all of us were collectively fasting for, because we know the times are darker and we know we need to get out of the cities. And so we have already begun fasting. So I just wanted to put that out there. So if people didn't have an idea of, since we're trying to join, then we should all definitely be on one accord.
Mhm.
That's all.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like some of the things that you all are fasting for. One thing that I like to do is I like to have a prayer list. Okay. And the prayer list is similar to the fast list. What you're fasting for, you're praying for it too. So in that prayer list, you can always add other things to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So for instance, it's not hard for me to say, okay, I want to add, let's pray for the group that we're dealing with and their decisions and our coming together and the land and purchasing land or whatever it is we're going to do or plan to do. We can always add those things to it and pray for those things and continue to fast for those things, because the way this works is, even though you may be fasting for something on one particular day, that item should stay on your prayer list. So on the day that you're not fasting, you're still praying for that thing.
Yes.
You're praying until it comes to pass.
Right.
So you keep on praying, you keep on praying, keep on praying. Now I'm gonna fast. Turn my plate down today because I need to get some. I'm not seeing anything. And so you may say, okay, you know what? I turned my plate down today, and I've been fasting. I've been praying for this thing. I'm praying to get or understanding those things. It's been 2 weeks now. Maybe I need to turn down 2 days worth of plates. Maybe I need to turn down 3. Depending on how bad you want to get an answer from y'all on that particular thing, because that's what I've learned what real praying and fasting is all about. It's all about praying until you get the results.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Okay, well, I tell you, it's been a blessing talking to y'all. It's definitely good. It's always good seeing you all.
Yes.
Always.
Family, I have a question. Family.
Okay.
It's kind of breaking up on our end over here. Now, is the fast tomorrow, starting tomorrow?
Well, that's the day that we have, but if the group wants to join us on that day, or if you, I don't know, that's just the day we have.
Yeah, that's a day that me and my wife, we fast on, is Monday. And we're asking you all, if you all want to join us on Monday to fast and pray, you could do so. And if there's a particular thing, for instance, if you say, hey, Brother Watchman, Deborah, I want to ask if y'all could also include a prayer for my mother, because I'm fasting and praying for my mother's healing or something like that, then we'll say, oh, sure, we'll add her to our list too,
Okay. We understand, Sister Yadina. Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like what my husband was saying too. We I think it was last year or the year before when we were talking about the war room thing. We have the prayer journals, and I think it's important because you're able to go back and see the things that y'all have answered.
That's right.
And the prayer journals are, just something, a little notebook or whatever, something that you can do to just keep a log of things.
Yes.
But definitely anytime we come together, we can add whatever, like Sister Pamela Michelle's mom. I forget what was going on with her, but she's asking for prayer for her. She just visited her. She was very sick. And so there was a number of different things. Sister Lisa in California, she has cancer. And so there are anything that we all as a group feel that we need to add to this prayer list, it can coincide with the fasting. we put that before Yah. We're fasting, but we put our prayer list before Yah.
That's right. And the prayer list, it could be real. I mean, I've had prayer lists that were really huge. You know, I would have one subject dealing with financial things, one prayer whole page is dealing with it could be family things, things dealing with the kids' education. It could be things dealing with on the land or raising animals or just other things. I may have a really big list on all types. Some things may be spiritual, I'm praying for, or maybe natural things I'm praying for on another list, you know. So I try to keep a very detailed list.
I found one of my husband's lists from like 15 years ago. And it had a section in there for me, and I was looking at all the things. I found it was kind of the pages that started turning yellow and everything. I was like, man, okay, so you were praying about this and this. But yeah, this is why prayer journals are great, because you can look back and you can see the things that Yah have done, the things that Yah have blessed in and improved, and you know, all of that. So
you know, it's amazing. There's one journal I had. Everything I prayed for in this journal came to pass.
Yes, hallelujah.
Every single thing, exactly the way I asked and everything. And I would sit back and look at those and I say, wow, he did that, he did this, he did this. It was just amazing, you know?
So yes, for us, Monday is the day, family. I was just thinking the same thing. Yes, that's today.
Absolutely.
We are doing a 21-day Daniel fast with intermittent water only, fast throughout. Fast is for healing the temple. Yes, direction on where to move, a more productive business. Yes, that's a great thing, Sister Deja, Brother Matthew.
Yes. It's
okay. It's probably fine.
Okay.
Okay, family.
Well, we're going to close with prayer. Were there any more questions?
I did have one question.
Okay.
Going back to the event, as far as not a talent show, I don't want to say talent show because I feel like that's kind of like boasting, but as far as something dealing with music during the event, will we have that?
Oh, that sounds
I think
good.
it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's a great idea. There are so many talented young people.
Yeah, what Brother Netanyahu said, showcase.
Oh yeah. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. It's called a music showcase in the music business, where people just showcase new independent artists will showcase their stuff in a little private event. So I guess that's what you're talking about, Brother Brinson.
Yes.
More like praise and, or are you talking about like a praise and worship kind of set?
Kind of like that, but like, you know, where everybody has a set song that they can sing or like something they prepared, an instrument that they can play. And they can present it.
I like all of it. I mean, it takes you young people to bring this up because we probably would have just workshopped everybody and
I can't sing, you know. I know a D note, so.
Sister Dina, I know Brother Mike can sing a little bit too. He can probably do a little.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, so we think, well, young people, you all can put that together. We'll do our thing.
Yeah, we'll let y'all set that up then. Yeah.
I have one more question that I know we're not going to be able to answer today, Koti Deboria, but I was curious, even with some of us, again, just thinking about, again, like business investments and things like that, investing in on what some of us already have, you know, almost not like a Shark Tank, but kind of like that, you know, in a sense of if something sounds good to a certain amount of the group or the people in the group and things like that, and people might want to invest something small or something like that, and there's an understanding about the return of the investment and everything like that, that should be able to happen. One thing is the, what is it? It's the, I remember you guys talking about the feminine products, like, you know what I'm saying, the disposable feminine products.
Hygiene.
Yeah, hygiene, you know, the spit up, the like pads or something like that, that has always stayed in my brain ever since. I don't even know, like, since you guys talked about it 2 years ago, maybe something like that, 2 years ago. Things like that, you know, things dealing with kids, you know, like those type of things like never go out of style. You know, children's books. You know, a need. You know, and things like that. So I don't know. I know we can't answer it today, but I just wanted to put it on.
Well, but believe it or not, our girls, Sophia and Rebecca, I'll let them. They're working on something right now as it relates to that, because we don't have like a whole lot of time. So a lot of things we've passed on to our girls, and hopefully real soon they have a project that they've been working on, I would say, for the past 6 months, to where they're bringing the maxi pads, all of that into it. Because one of the issues we came up with the maxi pads was some type of requirement for licensing,
Right.
to actually sell those. And so we were exploring, I guess, loopholes. But anyway, there are some things my daughters are working on, but that's going to be reintroduced with some of our herbal teas and things of that nature. We'll share it with the group. But another thing that we thought about, because of some of the skills that our family have, you, Brother Mattiyahu, you're into music, and I'm pretty sure there's other people with skills too. Some of the things that we do, desktop publishing, we were thinking of some type of media company with all of these different skills, with the music. Our girls and my husband, myself, we know how to do editing. Aliyah does After Effects, and they actually help us with some of our work. And we do believe that this is something that those in the group who produce music and things of that nature, we could form a media company. We try to do as much as we can with the time that we have, but we figured a way to do it is by incorporating it into, like Sophia, she's actually finished with homeschool now. She's taking college classes now. But with her, she's actually using some of her time, and I'll just tell you all what it is. They're working on a magazine, and they've been working on it for the past 6 months. In this magazine, a lot of the things that we do, that others do, are going to be showcased there. We're trying to bring it all into one place.
Yes.
And we believe that this is something that anyone who is into music, Brother Matt, we could definitely. There's someone else who contacted us who wants to the song "Thank Y'all for This Day." This brother asked if he can professionally produce that for us, and we're like, we don't. The kids say we don't care. It's fine, because that's what the song is for y'all's people. And so we're so strapped for time, and so when anyone offers to help with anything, we are thankful. But we do believe that there's a way for us to work together with some things, but there's a lot involved in this stuff. And I know a lot of times people want us to like give them a date. When is White It Out 6 coming out? We're like, well, it's going to come out when it comes out, because we have a lot on the table right now. We're bouncing back and forth from thing to thing, and these things take time. Yeah. So we thank everyone for their patience, though. Back to Egypt, the game. That's another thing.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone
we're like right here from having it done. We're this close.
We did. We started with the commercial for it,
2 months ago.
2 or 3 months ago. But we're still trying to narrow down the pieces. We still haven't gotten that part figured out, because there's different suppliers for the pieces. And so we want it all to be together in one thing. And I know that sounds like, man, will y'all get it together? Yeah. But, yeah, it's all in y'all's time. Definitely. But we're trying to figure out the pieces. That's the last part of it, though. And the money. The money,
yeah. We're trying to figure out the money thing and the pieces, because it's a long story. We had this monopoly money that we were going to do at first, but we decided against that, because it looked too much like Monopoly, And
we wanted to. Someone suggested shekels, and so that we're trying to have it as close to all of that as possible. So
so trying to figure it all out and get it done right is delayed us
in y'all's timing. But again. There's definitely a lot that we can do together as a team. a lot of things, but you know, we have been, what can I say? We have been hindered a lot this year. This year really set us back a big deal, a great deal.
The end of last year too, when we first went to the land, they kind of
last year and this year,
and doing stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So we're hoping that now we can finally get things back on track. We got some projects that we're finally finishing, and so you know, hopefully some of these things we can go ahead on to finish.
Like we finished the herb book, but I bet many of you don't even know about it because we haven't had a chance to really do a lot of marketing on it. But we use it for our children. Yeah. But there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot, and you put up something about Michael. I didn't get a chance to read it all, Akoti.
Oh yeah, no, he's really electronically inclined on a computer.
Okay.
And he can do gaming, so we have some ideas. So hopefully we can collaborate on that at some point.
Okay. Do you think he would be willing to learn some After Effects or some Premiere Pro? These are editing programs.
Yes, he would love it. He would just love it.
16.
He's 17. He'll be 18 in February.
Oh, okay.
Well, I would love to put him on something like After Effects and push him into that. There are people that are making 6 figures doing After Effects.
Yeah.
Right. I just bought him something with that stuff. I just bought him something with it.
Yes.
I don't even know what it is.
Yes. Well, young people, that's their thing. I don't even have the patience to learn it, so I'm glad that they want to do it. So
what's funny is I knew a guy who had gotten a Flash program, Adobe Flash, and this guy, he knows my brother. He got hired down in Texas, and he was making so much money doing Flash for websites for companies. You know, I mean, it's in play. He was doing well over $100,000 just doing Flash.
Yes.
And so,
right.
If a person could get in there, the things that pay a lot of money, animation pays big money. After Effects, templates play big money. That type of stuff is a lot of money in those type of things. You know, Flash, it's a lot of money in that type of stuff. So, you know, understanding codes, computer codes for websites, JavaScripts, and
that's what he's going. That's it. That's going to be his major.
Oh, okay, yeah, CSS codes and all that. There's a lot of money to be made in that business. So
now having a group of people that can do a lot of different things, that's a big thing. That's big.
Yeah, it is.
And so again, back to the fasting, like minds, that's what we need. And everyone has to be focused. And, and like I said, we have to pray for against the blockages, because even there was a delay from the was it Daniel?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to pray for against the blockages too, because the enemy, he tries to block us, but we have to do whatever it is the Most High is telling us to do in this hour. And I know we can't sit still, but at the same time, we can't move in any direction that he hasn't willed us to move in. We're afraid of that at this point.
Yeah,
you know. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we have to pray against the spirit that comes to bring division, because I see that happening so much.
Yeah.
And we got to know that this ain't normal. Yeah. You got to know that the enemy does this. And as I listened to, and I know we got to go, as I listened to Brother Dimitri the other day, he had a very emotional message that he spoke, and he was talking about he and Brother Sean Tatum were trying to unify a lot of people, you see. And Brother Sean Tatum actually prophesied his own death. I don't know if some of you saw that video, but he had just said a couple of weeks before he died, he said one of us or both of us may be killed. And when Brother Dimitri was speaking these words, it felt very eerie, and he said, and one of us did die. And so we just want Yah to just lead us and guide us in the direction he would have us to go, because that is quite frightening to hear this brother prophesied his own death. And Brother Dimitri said, in a sense, they killed him too, because his page, all of these messages he had online on Facebook, they shut his page down. All of that's gone now. He had to start all over from scratch. So he said, in a sense, he said on the 2-week mark, his page was knocked down, and everybody was like, where is Brother Dimitri? He's gone. And so he re-registered, and he did a live broadcast to let us know that he's all right and that they just shut him down just out of the blue. So the enemy is working.
Yeah.
But he's busy. Y'all can be just as busy. But we have to allow him to work through us, because greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world.
That's right.
And we have to keep that in mind. We can't be afraid of no devils, and we just have to keep it moving in Yahusha's name.
Hallelujah.
Yes,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely. Make sure we are covering ourselves with the blood of the Lamb.
That's
Hallelujah.
right. That's right. Hallelujah.
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 Okay, let's have prayer. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Father, yeah, we thank you so much, Father, yeah, for being in the midst of us, Father, yeah, as we came together with this meeting. We ask you, Father, that you continue to bless each and every one of these families, Father, yeah. Continue to guide them. Continue to listen to them, Father, yeah. They have things that they're fasting for, they're seeking you for. We're asking you, Father, yeah, in the name of your son, Yahushua HaMashiach, we come to you by his blood. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We come to you, Father, yeah, by the blood of your son, Yahushua HaMashiach, that our prayers be not hindered. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So we come to you and we ask you, Father, yeah, bless these people, Father, yeah. Give them, hear their prayers and give them the things that are according to your will, Father, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Bless them that they may understand your will and understand their walk even deeper and closer to you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
In Yahushua HaMashiach's name, we thank you, Father, yeah. Continue to bless us tonight. Protect us as we sleep. Protect our homes, our families, and all that we have. In Yahushua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We love you, family. We love you. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Love you too.
Shalom.
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 Stop broadcasting.